Here on Radio on Fire. Thank you for joining me. Diamond K in here alongside my father, D. Williams. How you doing, Dad?
Hey, I'm like Obama, fired up and ready to go. Fired up.
Every week we are here unpacking political and social stories. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the like button. Really helps the show, the algorithm, and all of that kind of stuff. So without any further ado, let's dive in. So the Trump organization and House Democrats are squaring off over subpoenas and all this kind of stuff, and the Trump team is saying that they're not cooperating with anything. So they're fighting over this investigation. The Democrat-controlled House, multiple fronts, back and forth. They've had court hearings all week, and his strategy to fend off inquiries into his personal and business affairs. It is, I mean, what is going on?
His thing is just delay, put off, delay. That's what he's been doing all his life. You know, loans are due, delay. You know what I mean? That's all he does. But the Democrats have to get even stronger because this is the law. This. If we let him get away with what he wants to do, the whole country will be destroyed. The fabric of the nation. This is a country of laws, built on laws. This is the law. This is how we do. Nobody is above the law, and if we let anybody get away with that, because right now he has helped to embolden everybody. Because they say, well, hell, he don't. He's saying F everybody. People are going to start saying the same thing. F this, F that. I'm not doing it. Trump, the president, doesn't do it. I mean, the whole fiber of the country will collapse.
It's amazing because when I think back to Nixon could not have done this, right?
No.
Even the Republicans would not have stood for it.
No.
Because even though we disagree with them politically, they were still patriots.
Yes, people, they abide by the law. I mean, this man, if you show them evidence that he was a criminal, then he was a criminal, and that was it. But now it's just it's beyond the pale. This is dangerous.
Yes,
this is dangerous. I read an article when Germany said they don't look at the United States as an ally.
What was that? What was that in? That was an American publication?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's definitely not good.
Yeah.
So Trump's strategy has three parts. First, resist efforts to speed up the litigation. So they have some stuff where they're trying to speed this thing up and let's get this ball rolling, and he is trying to resist. Second, he wants to raise sweeping arguments about the limits of Congress's ability to investigate him. And he's testing the bounds of previous Supreme Court appeals, courts' decisions, and all of that. He's going against all of the norms.
Here's the thing. Here's a person who says, I don't want you to investigate me because he knows you're going to find something. He doesn't want you to see his taxes because he knows that you're not going to like him. You know what I mean? Everything he throws out about other people is a reflection of him. Whenever he says lock her up, he know he need to be locked up. We talk about bringing in foreigners. He brought in more foreigners than anybody.
Attorney General Barr said something that he said a lot of things that were disturbing. But one thing that really stuck out to me was he said that the president can end any investigation that he feels is unjust into himself.
Well,
if he doesn't agree with if he doesn't think he did something wrong, he can end the investigation. That's crazy.
This is why he wanted Barr to be the Attorney General. And this is if they want to get Trump out of office, they should treat him like they would if he was the black president. Real simple. Treat him, look at him like he was black.
It goes back. I keep going back to Nixon. It harps back to something that Nixon said, and Nixon said that if the president does it, then it isn't against the law. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing that Trump's saying. Mm-hmm. Basically, you can't investigate me if I do something. I'm the president, mm-hmm. and no one has taken that stance and it gone unchallenged. Nixon kind of. Sort of took it. He
didn't have any back.
Right.
You know, this guy's got people backing him.
Right.
On that, and then when he said when he was campaigning, we want to muddy shake up the system. What was it? I'm trying to think of the exact words.
Drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp.
Yeah.
People, they hear those words, but they don't know what that means. Drain the swamp.
They thought they meant of corruption.
Yes.
He meant of law and order.
Yes. Oh man, I like that. I like that. Exactly.
I didn't tell y'all what I was draining from the swamp.
Exactly.
I just said I was draining the swamp.
I'm gonna drain the swamp. He drained
of
the
all
swamp.
the law and order.
Exactly. He drained the swamp. He tried to drain the swamps of law and order to replace it with what?
Corruption.
Criminality. And he's doing it. And the thing about him is that he's doing it right in front of everybody's face.
Yeah, he's not even hiding his hands.
No.
Usually they throw the stone and hide his hands.
No.
He ain't hiding his hands.
He's investigating me. I want him put in jail. I want the investigators investigate. It's like lawyers used to say, don't believe your lying eyes. I mean, yeah. I remember this lawyer told me that his wife called him with another woman. And then she said, I saw you. He said, don't believe your lying eyes. This is how they are. You know what I mean? And he halfway persuaded. You didn't see me. You thought you saw me. You thought your eyes were seeing me. You didn't see me. And this is all he's doing.
Yeah, it's insane. Earlier this week, Tuesday to be exact, there was a hearing on what was the first and likely to be numerous court proceedings over the Democrats' subpoenas probing Trump's business affairs and also his administration. So a federal judge in New York handling the lawsuit of Trump's challenging the subpoena to Deutsche Bank and Capital One is scheduled to hear arguments early next week. So,
the Deutsche Bank, if you look at the history of the Deutsche Bank, they go back to the 1800s, and they were the main supplier of capital to Hitler. That's where his money came from.
Yeah.
Deutsche Bank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, this is really, really dicey. So we're 1 week into, we were talking about this. Baltimore's government still fighting a ransomware attack, which is a cyber attack. And we're talking about the elections and the coming election and whoever, hackers getting into our systems. And here in Baltimore, a major city, we're not the biggest city in the union, but we're a major city. And the government's computer system has been crippled.
I mean, if it wasn't so serious, you would
it'd be funny.
It'd be funny. It's too, it's incredible. I mean, they can't. You can't. Can you pay tickets?
Not online.
You gotta
go in person.
You buying a house, you can't. Finish the transaction.
No. Can't do none of that stuff. And they couldn't send emails, and they couldn't. They could. It was they. I was looking, and I follow a lot of councilmen and politicians. They were setting up temporary Gmail accounts to receive emails from their constituents because they can't use their Baltimore.gov emails. And
they're saying that, well, we don't have to worry about our elections; they're safe. You know what I mean?
Elections ain't safe.
The city has been crippled for a week, and they said, give us $75,000. $75,000, and the city says,
I can't let you say that. 76,000.
76,000.
$76,000. So what would you do? Would you, a part of me says, okay, it's not that much money when it comes to a city government. But if you pay the money, or at least if people know that you paid the money, then it looks like, okay, next time we're going to do more. You look like a mark.
You are a mark. You are a mark. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Yeah.
You're not capable of fighting back.
Right.
What's going to happen when they tap into they cut the lights off in the city?
Right.
The food.
Right.
The water. We are not capable of defending ourselves. And you have the audacity to think that nothing is being tampered with the elections? This is insane.
Yeah. That's our new mayor. Do you think that this possibly could have been a warning to the new mayor, like let you know, like?
No, I think it's bigger than that.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah,
it's way bigger.
I think it's either the Russians or Iran, and they just playing with them, because they don't want no $76,000.
No, that's nothing.
They just playing, what I mean?
That's nothing.
They're just playing with them.
So Jack Young said this: "No, we are not going to pay the ransom." And I can't go into specifics of why we can't pay the ransom because it's part of an ongoing criminal investigation.
And that's weak.
That's super weak.
If he's the mayor, he should say that citizens of Baltimore, don't worry. We've got the FBI. We've got the top people in this country working to break this. We're going to find out who did it, and we're going to get them. This will never happen again in this city. And it should never happen in this country. You mess with the wrong people. And so
he said that, and if he said that like that with his chest, then he would have got some respect.
Yeah, that's ridiculous what he said.
Yeah, and it's it makes us look bad. To me, this makes us look worse than any scandal that we've had with any of the previous mayors.
It makes the country look bad.
Yeah.
This is a city, a large city in this country, and they can't even defend themselves.
Right outside of D.C.
Right.
Outside of D.C.
Because he's going to get the top people in Washington to help him. They can't do it either. So it ain't just making Baltimore. It makes America look bad.
Right.
But it's making it look bad. But whoever did it already know we can do it, and know that you're not qualified to do anything about it.
Well,
we're in trouble. We're in trouble in this country.
So Young also said that this will be a multi-week restoration process, and he is hopeful that the systems could possibly be up and running in 3 more weeks, but that's not a guarantee. So employees unable to access their computers, city residents cannot pay any bills electronically. Residents have to either mail in their payments or come downtown and pay in person with either check or money order.
And see, who's ever doing it, they're playing with them. Because they could affect them even getting their paychecks if they wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the people are going to be in uproar. They're playing with them.
You have to pay people in cash because you can't. That's crazy.
I mean, it is, and it shows you how inept this country has become.
Yes.
Because I remember when I mentioned earlier, we used to make cars, and this is the big three made General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler, and they made those cars planned obsolescence. They used to 3 years, 36 months. Boom! It ain't gonna run. It's gonna be bumpers is shaking. It's just horrible. Japanese came in here and said, let's make a quality car. And they forced Americans to build quality cars. They got cars now. You can have a car 10, 12, 15, 20 years now. You couldn't do that before. And so what happens is that we discover things and everybody else perfects it. And that's what they've done with computers. The United States came up with computers, the internet, and they took it from the Americans and they perfected it. And now we can't even defend our own self. That's pathetic.
It is. It is. Shifting gears, and I think this is all connected. I think it's all going to be connected because the 2020 election is around the corner. I mean, the first polls going to happen February 2020 when the primary, when he start cutting the fat from it. And speaking of fat, we have over 23 people running on the Democratic side. Do you think any other people should get involved? Or should it be a cutoff?
Yeah, that's enough. And let me tell you what's going to happen. Now, this is May 17th, 2019. When they have the elections in 2020, the Trump administration, he's going to be campaigning. You can't trust the elections. You know you can't trust them. We can't. So however it goes, if he wins, it's going to be okay. If he loses, he's going to say, you can't trust him. I'm staying in office. It was corrupt. You know, he ain't leaving. I'm telling you. May 17th, 2019, I told you, he's not going to leave. He's not. He's not. He's gonna say you can't trust him. I'm gonna stay in office. My people want me to stay in. We gotta figure this out. You know how he said, and until we figure out what the hell's going on. Those was his words about.
I got the majority of the vote anyway.
Yes, right.
Say that.
Yes.
Everybody I talked to voted for me.
Yes. Yeah. That's.
He's gonna say some stuff like that.
He said I haven't talked to one person that didn't vote for me.
And the Democrats are so weak that they would just go for this. Well, we can't talk about impeachment. You know, we can't. It's sad, but that could happen, and they wouldn't do nothing about it.
They wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, what is the Constitution?
This has never happened before.
Yes.
And they're gonna quit. Yeah. And that would be a hostile takeover.
That's what they're doing anyway. I mean, yeah. May 19th, 2019. I told you what he's going to do.
You're predicting a year and some change.
And they're already setting the traps for people in Baltimore right now. They can't even. Next week they're gonna be able to pay nobody. I mean, they can't. They already got the computer system messed up, and then they're showing you that we can do. And then he gonna give examples. They did this over here, then they can do that over there. Those he ain't win. I won that. I'm not leaving. Oh, it's gonna be chaos in this country.
But if you think about it, this kind of stuff never happened before.
No.
You know what I mean? The stuff that's
Benjamin Franklin said, "It's the Constitution, if you can keep it. It's a democracy, if you can keep it."
Right. Yeah. So, Montana Governor Steve Bullock entered the 2020 race as a Democrat from a Trump state. Trump won his state. So he was the 22nd Democratic presidential hopeful. He made his announcement earlier this week. And, I mean, he claims that he fills a role that no one else does. And so he is the only Democratic candidate who was on the ballot alongside the then candidate Trump and won. So in other words, the Montana voters handily elected Trump president in 2016, but they also voted for a Democratic governor in Bullock. So as a Democrat, he won, Trump that is, won by 20 points. Now, he said he does not have the luxury of only talking to people who agree with him. I'll go across the countries, across the states, 147,000 square miles, looking for common grounds to get things done. So, you know, you can tell he's like he probably has a cowboy hat somewhere close by. You know what I mean? He's that. We haven't seen somebody like this since LBJ, and I didn't see LBJ. I saw him in the books. You know what I mean? I didn't see him in actuality. He speaks to a different audience, I think. But you know, I don't know. It's showing you that people now are coming out, and to me, a lot of these people could have run for Congress, but he chose not to. A lot of them could. And they say, you know, and I heard him talk about, he was like, no disrespect to the Congress, but they ain't me. You know what I mean? And
well, a lot of a governor. It's hard for a governor to want to be a part of the Senate of 100 people that you got to get consensus with.
After you've done that,
I think that after when are the debates? June. Yeah. So I think that we're going to start seeing it's going to dwindle down some.
People will start running out of money.
Yeah, and they're only getting 1% of the polls or whatever that means.
I mean, Dad, this race is way too crowded. Mm-hmm. So yesterday, Bill de Blasio makes his announcement.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that he didn't, honestly. This is the mayor of New York City. So he's very similar to Trump in regards to New York guy, a lot of money, city slicker type. You know what I mean? But the one thing I do like about him is I think that Trump is going to feel surrounded when you have a lot of people that are coming at him directly. But here's the other thing about it. Even though he's not that different in age from Bernie or from Biden,
right,
he seems 15 years younger than them.
Right.
Why? Right. How is he able to do that?
Right.
He doesn't work out. I mean, he plays golf.
Yeah.
He doesn't work out. I know he doesn't work out. We don't spend no time with him, but I know he don't work out.
He doesn't drink. He never smoked.
Right.
I don't know about Bernie and Biden. Whether they may not do it now, but whether they've done it in the past, because it comes back to get you later when you get up there in age.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, but yeah, that's true. And then, like I said before, the guy never gets sick. Have you ever? I mean, did they ever say he got the flu? I mean, you ever had a cold? I mean, I don't hear about him.
Yeah.
And I really think that when the debates come, we're going to really get a good picture of who can win, if anybody. You might conclude none of you guys can beat him. And girls.
I mean, it's crazy because the mainstream media. One of the many things that frustrates me about the mainstream media is they just go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. And each week they're championing a different Democratic hopeful. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When they make the announcement, they love them, and then they're going on to the next person. They make the announcement that they're the best thing, and they've just gone down the whole line. If we go back a month ago, the Texas O'Rourke, Beto. He was the man. He's on the cover of the magazine.
For about 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
And then the Mayor Steve.
Yeah.
Is it Steve?
Yeah, Buttigieg.
Yeah. And then Buttigieg came in, and then
Pete.
Mayor Pete.
Mayor Pete.
Yeah, Mayor Pete.
His time's up. Mm-hmm. And then when Bernie made his announcement and he was hot, and now Biden's hot, and
Harris was hot when she came, and so,
yeah.
But that's what But now think about this: Warren was never really hot. They never really jumped on Warren like that, And the other girl in New York,
she's still in the conversation.
Yeah, no. She what conversation did they have for her? She's made it. She's forced them to.
Yeah.
They just surrendered to the other people. They didn't.
Yes.
They didn't.
Yes.
Give in.
I'll give her that. Yes.
Yeah, so she's been fighting for everything.
And like I told you, I don't agree with everything that she says, but she's progressive. She has a message, and she has been very consistent and in your face with it, to her benefit.
Right. And the main thing that you have to be president now, the people want, you got to be a law-abiding citizen. That's
Absolutely.
number one. We want somebody who's honest and is a citizen.
Previously, that has never been listed as a requirement.
Right.
And
right.
Trump's like, oh, ain't nobody touch. Y'all ain't never said that. My bad.
Right. And, yeah. This is, as I said last year, this is the first time I've ever seen a white leader, in this country. I mean, he is he's.
But where's he leading them to?
I don't, hey, I don't know. It might be the hell. All of us might be going in the handbag.
With Jim Jones, I don't think Jim Jones drunk the Kool-Aid. I don't think he had it in him to drink the Kool-Aid. But one of his aides shot him in the head.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he drunk the Kool-Aid.
Okay.
Literally. Yeah. But everybody else drunk the Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
And with Jim Jones, he knew that he wasn't going to make it out of there. He didn't have the guts to do it himself. But with Trump, he would lead them all to the Kool-Aid and he wouldn't drink it.
Oh, no.
He wouldn't drink the Kool-Aid.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, all y'all drink the Kool-Aid.
And with Hitler, they don't know. I think, somebody shot Hitler. They don't know.
Eva Braun shot Hitler. Yeah. And then she's the girl he was dating, the fiance, whatever.
Yeah, I remember. Eva.
Yeah, she shot him, and then she shot herself.
And then they had to have somebody to bury the bodies because they never found the bodies.
Well, the Russians took the bodies, and they had the bodies in Russia, and they said that they had it during the Cold War. Did they?
They
had it. Yeah.
Hitler's body.
Yep.
Okay.
Russians
I didn't know
took
that.
it.
Okay. Adolf.
Yeah. So. Yeah, this is interesting times we live in.
It is, and that's nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. That's one thing about life that's so fantastic. You can make all the plans in the world, but you don't know.
Right.
Nobody knew you was gonna get. Nobody could ever have thought that we get a guy like this as president of the United States of America.
That's why I don't want viewers to get confused. Don't get it twisted. Don't believe the hype. But every other phrase that I can think of, when they tell you that the polls say that this one would be tied with Trump and this one would beat Trump and this one, sometimes I've seen sample sizes of 500 people. They'll say at the bottom that the poll was 500 people. Why are we even talking about this poll? 500 people.
They've been doing that since the polls came out.
But it makes no sense.
Right.
You're talking about how many millions of people in this country?
300 million plus.
Right. And you're talking about you polling 500 people? We had more than 500 people in my senior class as a freshman at Edmondson. Mm-hmm. You can't, the sample size is so small that it means nothing. Mm-hmm. And what you do is you have people believing who may not pay attention to the sample size and believe that, that's what it is. And that's kind of stuff happened to Hillary. And in some of those key places, you don't need to vote. She got that.
And then here's another thing about Hillary. And they tried
she didn't.
Play, they said, well, she didn't go to Wisconsin. That wasn't going to make no difference. She didn't go to Wisconsin. She should have campaigned in Michigan again. The fix was in. Okay, that wasn't gonna make no difference.
But Biden uses that. He said she's not talking to my people in Scranton. If she had just came to Scranton, she couldn't know. Because what they're gonna have now is people overcompensating in those states.
Exactly.
They're gonna overcompensate.
And that's what they do.
And they're gonna say, you focus too much on those states, but you didn't focus on the tried and true states, and he beat you in the tried and true states.
Right. It's just like when we had the shoe bomber. They went crazy. Everybody got to take your shoes off now. Everybody get on this, but you got to take your shoes off. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so they just go all in until the fad has died out, and then they're going. What's the next thing?
Right.
And
right. Well, Dad, thank you as always for another great show.
Only in America.
Yes,
only in America.
We'll be back for more news and the news never stops.
Yes. But here's the key: we got to stay strong.
Yeah.
And keep your eye on the prize. And it's what Michelle said last year, 2 years ago. When they go low, we got to go high. America got to stay up here It's run by laws, not by a man, not by a group,
Right.
and not by a gang, because it's a hostile takeover. They're trying to make a hostile takeover, and they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job. So we got to fight back.
Yeah, absolutely. As always, shows available on demand, radioonfire.com/father and son.
Radio on fire.
All right. See you next week.
We ain't no liars. Guy here. He's the one that he started to